I was stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and my platoon sergeant took me out to meet this girl that he met and was going to go out with, but he was chicken. So he took me out there, and I said, "Wow!" So I ended up marrying her. You got to understand, Linda was just really a special person. There was things that she brought out in people, even in me. It gets to a point where Linda has to, for this new insurance, she has to go and see a new doctor, or we change doctors. She goes in, and doctor's asking her all these things, and she's saying, no, 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 no. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
So 8 years before I had my diagnosis, the doctors did a colonoscopy and said, come back in 5 years. I didn't do it. There's no evidence that tells me that this is anything but on me, because I believe that if I'd come back in 5 years and they clipped out whatever became that tumor, I wouldn't have this problem.
We tend to always kind of want to put off our symptoms because, oh, this just happened one day and that's it. But I think what's really important is just talking with a doctor. Just because you talk with a doctor doesn't mean that a test will be done, but at least you've talked with someone who can decide on whether, okay, this is not just a hemorrhoid, or this does need to be evaluated further.
And the doctor said, what? Are you kidding me? And then she said, have you had a colonoscopy? And I said, no. And she said, you're getting one now. So we got one, boom. Then we found out she had stage 4. It was too late to do anything.
It's imposed an unnecessary burden on my wife and my family. I've made them sad and afraid, and they didn't deserve that.
The earlier the stages, the more likely where surgical intervention will be curable. The later the stage, the more likely someone will need chemotherapy after their surgery, and where surgery may not be curable. It's identifying those people early based on symptoms, and then making sure that people who are due for their screening get their screening, no matter what screening method that is.
That's why people should have colonoscopies, to get rid of the polyps before they become cancerous, or to find the cancer before it spreads and becomes more difficult to treat.
The symptoms to most worry about would be bleeding. So if they see red blood in the stool, that's really important to see a doctor. Developing new constipation or difficulty having bowel movements is also really important. Weight loss, so they're losing weight, they're eating normally, they don't know kind of why they're losing weight. That's also another really important symptom. And then belly pain, nausea, vomiting are also symptoms to kind of really look out for.
Everybody, I think, is afraid of what it might find, because now they're hearing all these different things. Nobody wants to go in there and find out, oh my God, you got colon cancer. Yeah, but now we can cure it. We can get rid of it if we get it early. In my Linda's case, it was too late.
So at the age of 50, we recommend everyone who's of average risk to have some type of screening test, whether that be a stool test or whether that be colonoscopy. And when I say average risk, that means someone who does not have a primary relative who has had colon cancer, or who does not have a familial colon cancer syndrome. So there's certain syndromes where it runs through their genes. Those people are not at average risk and have to have their colonoscopies done earlier.
This simple little thing of a colonoscopy and a little inconvenience can save your life.
The alternative is to have an experience like mine. I've had 12 months of my life taken up with chemotherapy, which has been the most miserable months of my life.
The biggest misconceptions are, number one, that they're going to feel the colonoscopy. So discomfort during the colonoscopy. 99% of people wake up and ask me, when are we going to get this started? And we've already finished the colonoscopy.
One of the things I have learned is that there are a lot of arrows in the cancer-fighting quiver. And I've used a few of them already, but there's still some out there.
Linda said, I told you, this is what God. This is God's plan. This is it. We finally got it. I'm going to die because I didn't do what I should have done. You're going to use your big mouth to tell everybody about it and how simple thing this little colonoscopy is and how it can save your life. Linda passed away. And at that time, we had 45 people that either pledged to get one or was getting one since hearing about Linda. And I thought that was the biggest thing in the world. Well, now we got over 1,000.